What's up everybody? It's the Inhuman one here with part 8 of the ultimate 100% guide for Wuchang Fallen Feathers. And this guide I'm going to show you how to obtain every single thing in a single playthrough, and of course obtain the Platinum Trophy or 100% of all achievements depending on the platform you're playing on. In the previous episode we were able to clear out the majority of the Cloud Spire outskirts area, light the 3 spires or the beacons of course, and lower the drawbridge. Now we've made the decision to, of course, forego Li Wansan's armor in favor of completing some other quest lines and obtaining some other favorable outcomes for 2 other NPCs that are actually nice. So in this particular episode, we're going to be continuing those quest lines, of course, and clearing the rebel camp, taking out the rebel leader, Leenzee, and then the general himself before we make our way over to Cloud Spire City proper. So remember that while we're traversing this area, the spicy soups are going to be ideal. So we're going to go ahead and eat one of these spicy soups. We're going to pop a temperance and our axe right here. We're going to take out this elite enemy. This one's elite for the sake, I guess, for the purposes of the fact that he has some goodies for us. He's got a camp key that is going to lead us directly to the boss if we wanted to. We have a thunderstorm spell, and we get a secret letter. All of these things are very important. I am going to stop for a moment to show you that if you wanted to, you could simply beeline the boss by simply going down here and going to the door that I showed you in the previous episode. You simply can come down here with the rebel camp key now and fight the boss. But there's no need to do that because we are completionists, and that is why you are here. So we're going to be facing off with the rest of the rebel camp area, taking out the rest of the rebels, and making our full circle here so we can do everything the right way. So now let's go ahead and we're going to be very careful. There's lots of ambushes here, so before we proceed, it's fine. We're not going to get hit by anything just yet. But we do have several spells ready for us. I wanted to show you guys the valuables that we just picked up, including the spell. The spell, I haven't really found it to be incredibly valuable, but we do get a secret letter as well. And that's, of course, just a little bit of lore for us. The spell, I haven't found tons of use for it, honestly. It's nice if enemies are kind of in a line and narrow kind of areas and things like that, like tunnels, but that's about it. But it does call down lightning and like a column or like a straight line, so it's okay. Not the best, but in either case, we're going to go ahead and press forward. We're going to run this way, of course, but I'm just getting some things ready. So there's a lot of these tents that are going to be open, and they're going to have cannons facing towards you. So if this guy doesn't aggro, we're going to go ahead and rush in here. Watch for this shot. And then we're going to take out the shooter. So it's okay if you get shot. I mean, it's unfortunate, but you're not going to die or anything. But it's just really unfortunate because you get knocked back, so you want to make sure you recover pretty quickly. We get the Bravery Pendant here. The Bravery Pendant increases the damage dealt against enemies at full health, so if you're trying to go for something of a kind of a one-shot type build, it's pretty nice to get a nice chunk of damage taken care of immediately. We're going to go ahead and rush him. I lack the patience for the taunting. So we're going to go ahead and take him out, and just so you know, remember that spicy soup we've been eating, right? I don't know if it looks as appetizing as I thought. Welcome to cannibalism. Alright, so we're going to make a right from here. And remember, there's going to be another cannon just right there. It will start shooting as soon as you pass this little board here, so let's be very careful. Prepare for the shot. Rush the cannoneer. And take out this axe guy. We'll pick up his goodies in just a moment, but we're going to be thorough and get the rest of the stuff around here. We're going to enter this area first. Take out the puppy dog. Take out this guy that likes to roll around. And then now we're good. We can now safely grab the rest of the items around here. So right next to this soup, we do have more spicy soup, so yummy. Now we know the ingredients. If you ever were curious, you now know. This is an empty tent. And as we come out here, there's a bit of a clearing. So if you look to the left, there's some enemies, and there's going to be a kind of an archer type tower there. We're going to be careful with that. We're going to be heading towards that in just a moment. Nothing back here, but in a few moments, so we are going to be sure to enter all of these tents and get the rest of the goodies. So first things first, let's go ahead and take out this guy. We're going to take out all the enemies beforehand, see if this guy doesn't aggro. He didn't aggro, so we're going to take him out instead. Don't use fire here because you will explode these pots and you will die. So we can grab all these items. If you guys remember, we did of course have a ladder that I told you do not go up, because this is where you'd come out of. And coming out right in the middle of the rebel camp is not ideal. You're going to be in a kind of tight spot. You're not going to go, do I go left? Do I go right? What's the best way to clear it? Instead, we're going kind of in a backwards fashion, and it's going to allow us to, if we wanted to, beeline straight to the boss, or we could of course just go and pretty much get the drop on nearly every enemy. So we have this guy up here. He's important to take out from this side because, again, if you went from another angle, he's actually impossible to hit unless you have throwables or some sort of ranged spell or attack. So we're going to go ahead and get the drop on him. And we're going to grab this item. Essentially, we would have been coming from here, this little gate right here, and we'd be getting shot at repeatedly while we're trying to take out the other two enemies down below. So this, of course, is the most ideal pathway to take, and I strongly advise you take it. So, just so you know, we had just come around from here. This is the area that we searched around. There was nothing. We're going to make a quick right. We're going to keep in mind that we do have a sleeping enemy right here. He doesn't aggro until you pretty much pick up that item or walk past him, so he's just taking a nap. But now he's in something of an eternal slumber, so we're going to come over here, grab this item near these targets, and then we're going to take out this enemy. I'm going to start a charged R2. That'll completely take him out, and again, the axe is just doing phenomenal work here. Nothing in this particular tent, it's completely empty, so just want to show you guys that, of course, because again, if I was watching a guide and you purposely avoided an area, I'd be like, are you sure? These are individuals that have been taken hostage. They, of course, are not hostile, so we're not going to be harming them. We can take out this pup right here before it causes any trouble. And we're going to grab this item, tucked in the corner here. We're now going to make a sharp left and take out the rebel inside before he gets aggro. We'll go ahead and collect what he's given us, and the item here. So we get some steam bunny buns for our troubles. And then essentially we can come back around this way just so that you know I didn't skip anything. This is just the dog, so you can come out and right or you can come out and straight and it's fine. So we're going to go out and grab these items here. And grab this right here, some more soup, of course. So I love it. Look at that. It's a nice soup. It's simmering just fine. Alright, and now what we're going to do is head this way. And be careful because if you hadn't taken out the archer, this is where you're going to be getting shot at from this angle had you not been proactive. If not, you'd be coming from this gate and you'd be getting shot at, and there's no way to attack unless you rush all the way around. So we went and did the most effective way possible. We can get the drop on these guys with this finishing of the combo. We'll go ahead and take him out as well. So now all these enemies are done, and just to kind of prove it to you, there's no way to get to this enemy. You cannot go across or anything like that. It's quite annoying. So he's definitely a nuisance if you don't take him out proactively. So follow the path that I showed you and you'll be just fine. Alright. Now this archer, there's going to be an archer that we do have to deal with. It's quite annoying, but before we do anything silly, let's go ahead and get a charged R2 going. And just take note that there is an archer up above. When we come in here, we can grab this item. There's going to be an enemy sitting right here. Sometimes he can aggro. If the archer aggroes, he can hit us through here, so be careful. They are protecting an item, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to actually rush this guy. If he doesn't aggro, then we're going to kill the guy directly across the other side of the tent. So let's make sure. Oh, he aggroed, so that's no fun. Make sure we're good. Okay. We change of direction. Now we can go ahead and take him. Unfortunately, he does aggro pretty consistently if you cross the threshold of that tent, so no worries. He's going to hop around a little bit, but that's fine. Don't worry. Just let's rush him right here. And now he's dead. Don't dash or do anything like that here. If you're using the axe, you're going to be able to stagger him sufficiently to where you don't have to dodge around and then just potentially fall off and take fall damage, because it's a nice chunk of damage you're going to get here. So from the gravity, of course. So we're getting some spicy soups. As we circle around, we can now grab the items that these guys are protecting for, so just keeping it warm, you know, that's nice. And then as we approach this way, just so you know, that's going to be the 2 cannoneers, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually sprint and go left. Dodge, dodge, and then we'll just tank all this, whatever this is right here. Sometimes the dude to the right will aggro. I'm waiting for him to do that, but he didn't want to, so that's fine. But just for giggles, let's get that XP. Let's get that sweet, sweet red Mercury essence he's just holding on to for us. So now we've come full circle, and we're ready for Inhuman, the first boss, which is the rebel camp leader. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and rest up at the shrine, get the rest of our soups or whatever else we're needing. And now that we have so many soups now in stock and excess that we probably won't be using very much of after we defeat the Ming general. So now what we're going to do is come out here. We're going to make a left. And we're going to eat a soup here in just a moment. What we want to do is we want to eat a soup. We want to clean up our inventory belt just a little bit. So eat the soup. We're going to remove these 2 items, and instead we're going to equip the bone whistle. The bone whistle is going to allow us to summon Leenzee Chang. So he's even saying that if we summon him, we get some additional items after the fact. If not, you get different items. So it's either Kong wine or special pills. So immediately upon opening this door, you want to use the bone whistle to summon Leenzee Chang, and then we're going to temper our weapon, okay? But let's wait till a proper opening. So spam whistle, lock on to the enemy, wait for him to do his big leap here, dash behind him, wait for Leenzee Chang to pull his aggro, and then we're going to temper our weapon. He's facing us for some reason, so we're just going to wait. He does about 6 strikes like this, really easily telegraphed. Dodge forward through those right there, because if you don't, the explosive AoE will get you. Circle behind his big butt. If he does that in front of you, you can actually iframe it. I'll show you the timing. So we're just going to keep swinging. 3 strikes there. Just be careful with that. Dodge forward again. Dodge forward. We're going to circle behind him if we can. He's going to roar here, and he's going to actually apply flame to his weapon, so we can go ahead and re-up everything we need. Watch the ground here. If you see lightning, that means it's going to be lightning falling around you. Let's go ahead and temper our weapon while he has full aggro. And we're going to start getting close to him. That would have been a great opportunity had he not flown across the arena there, but that's fine. Remember to circle behind. Don't do anything more than 2 strikes. You can have enough stamina to make an emergency move there. Dodge forward again. Dodge to the side now. And as he's shooting like crazy, we're going to go ahead and finish him off with a big combo here. Use our weapon ability to take him out in the air like a boss. And now we have the Rosary, the second White Jade Dumpling, and we get the Echo of Inhuman, which is an interesting spell that could certainly use some reworking. And there you go. So Leenzee Chang has helped out. He's done his part by pulling aggro, and that's the first boss down. Again, not a very difficult boss. He hits pretty hard, but as long as you have the, I would say the aggro off of you, and you have this axe with fire temperance, you're gonna do tons of damage, like you saw there. So let's go ahead and speak with Leenzee Chang. He's gonna give us the Kong Wine ×3. If you don't summon him, he gives you different items. Pre-patch 1.4, he wouldn't give you anything. Post-patch, he does. I think it's just special pills, if I'm not mistaken. But now what we can do is we're gonna rush up here, come to this ladder, and then we're gonna be teleporting so that we can continue the quest line for Chao Ying. Chao Ying's the lady that has been munching on the dumpling, so let's go ahead and see. Can we level anything at this point? Let's take a look. We can bump up our weapon strength even further. Look at that. And let's see here. We can go for some health nodes, or we can take a look at the longsword and see what that's looking like. You know, honestly, I'd say we go for the health nodes, just because I am trying to be as user-friendly as possible here, so we can keep going up this way. Eventually, we can go anyway here if we want to get some additional clash and reduce the damage that we take. It's honestly just preference. What do you know, feel the most comfortable with? What are you enjoying the most? So as you can see, we have the icon for the NPC Chao Ying. So we're going to warp over to the Cloud Spire Outskirts Shrine, and I'll show you the quickest path to her. We're well on our way, making great time. In just about 15 minutes, we've already cleared out the camp, taken out the camp leader. Now we're going to come back this way from the shrine. Just turn back, just complete 180. Watch for this little guy. I like to go ahead and take him out. And typically in style, so watch for those arms to cross and then just get you some Skyborn Might for free. We're going to come up here in this house. We already opened this door. And as we make our way up the steps, Chao Ying should be here. We're going to go ahead and give her the White Jade Dumpling when prompted to do so. So deliver the news about Inhuman, and we're going to hand over the White Jade Dumpling. Alright. So now we can go downstairs. That's kind of continuing her quest line. She kind of goes in and out of like fits of, I don't know, I guess I'd say just like sanity. If anything, she doesn't remember who we are, who her son is, and then she has these kind of bouts of like where she does remember. She's like, oh no, what's going on? So, and typically it's just kind of sad because Chao Lin, her son, isn't doing too well, and Leenzee Chong obviously had done everything to try and take care of him as well. He's the one that gave us the Peachwood Amulet in the first episode. So, alright, so let's make sure we enter the dream if we haven't already, so we can re-up all of our temperances and all of that. And I'm going to show you the quickest path to General Ming. Now, General Ming is going to require a different loadout. So what we're going to be doing in preparation for that fight is, because of course we're not fighting any, any individual enemies, you can always take a look at these items here. And honestly, I should have done better and told you that you are more than welcome to equip the Fiend Felling Pendant and anything that would increase like the blunt stab attack power. So this isn't terrible either, but anything that's going to increase your melee is going to be just fine. So you only need the Draco Lich if you're really close to him when he enters phase 2. Otherwise, you're good to go. So what we're going to be doing is focusing on the next set of items we can start working on here. So we're going to avoid all of this for now. We really just need this particular spell. If you want a spell with Alacrity, the Echo of Lu Bingjiang is solid. We're going to also go ahead and equip some fire pots. If you want, you can equip the niter pots too. It's really just a matter of preference. So for the general though, however, we're going to go ahead and see if we can just get the maximum damage here. So anything with throw attacks, for example, this is going to be great because we are going to be using the fire pots. And if you want, you can also equip the niter pots. It shouldn't be necessary, but just keep in mind that you are going to need your fire spell and some fire pots. Other than that, we're going to want to switch over to the Lashing Whip. Make sure we're all ready to go there, and ensure that you have the Fire Temperance. Okay? So now we're going to make our way over, and if you want, at any point in time, whenever you're comfortable, you can go ahead and pop a soup. So we're going to do the soup after we cross the bridge. So what we're going to do is make our way up this little pathway. Keep in mind that because we have respawned, the enemies with the cannons to the left of us can shoot us if we move too far to the left, so stick to the right. And the cannon enemies should not be able to harm us, so just go here. I like to dash past these pots to make sure we're safe, and now there's nothing they can do to you. Watch that mine. Keep moving forward, and then we're going to go ahead and cross this bridge. Alright, so as we approach the threshold of this gigantic gate here, what we want to do is we want to temper our weapon and eat a soup. So go ahead and go to your inventory, eat a soup really quickly, temper the weapon, go down to your mana basis, and then we're going to go ahead and skip the cutscene if there is one. Immediately, he's going to rush us. So we're going to do 1 dash, 2 dash, and 3 dashes. Go for the backstab, and then we're going to punish. So be very aggressive, make sure you get that obliteration. Go for the strike there, back away, and we're going to try and mimic that same behavior. So he's doing the same thing, so 1, 2, and 3, go for the backstab, and this should ensure he gets to phase 2. He's going to kind of obscure our vision here and remove our lock on, so we're going to back away. When he starts spinning around, we're going to go ahead and retemper our weapon, and when he flies out, he's going to spin 2 times. On the second spin, we're going to get our deflection. So lock on as soon as you can. Spin right there, that's the L2. Get in 1 strike there, 1, 2, so that's usually a 2 strike there. He can throw knives, so just dodge twice. Back away and wait for that spin. If he does that and you're nervous, just back away. He's going to jump and spin at us any moment. So on the second spin, 1, 2, that's L2 for us. 1 strike, don't get greedy. When he does this, we're going to go ahead and spam our spells. If you don't have Skyborn Might, you're more than welcome to use your pots. So there's 2 spins there. Dodge forward when you hear that grab attempt. And then now we can go to our pots. Watch for the spin here. 1, 2. Go for 1 strike. Don't be greedy. He's going to attack out of that. Keep your distance. Force him to jump towards you. 1, 2. 1 strike. Go forward whenever you see him spinning. And then as he does that, we're going to throw some pots. Watch for the second spin. 1, 2. 1 strike. Back away from that. 2 strikes there. He can go ahead and you can parry that if we want. Watch for the knife throw. Watch for the lunge. And then we're going to watch him for the spin. 1, 2. I didn't do that there because I couldn't get my words right, but that's fine. We'll watch for another spin. 1, 2. Get 1 strike. Just back away. Force him to use the moves that you can easily interrupt. So watch it. 1, 2. 1 strike. Watch for anything he's going to do there. We're going to switch to the Niter Pots, throw some fun things at him here, see if he likes that. We have a spell, so why not? Go for the parry. 1 strike and he's dead. So really easy. Not a difficult boss at all, especially if you manipulate his behavior. As of patch 1.5, he will not be killed, but instead he's bested in combat and he allows us to pass because essentially he's not powerful enough to stop us. So we get the Echo of Luching in, and we get the wooden strip for Tao Ching. He won't say anything here yet. So what we can go ahead and do is, if you've died before, I died because I used a much more difficult strategy before, and I was, you know what, I'm just going to keep it real simple. And I just purposely died, and I let myself get grabbed so that I could come back and show you guys a much more simple method. But don't be ashamed if you die. Dying is honestly the best way to learn things in the game, and in Souls-like in particular, so don't be ashamed of that. Let's go ahead and fix up our inventory a little bit. Get it to kind of its reminiscent of what it once was. We're not really using throwables anymore, so we can go back to this if we want, so we don't lose so much. Red Mercury Essence, when we rest here, you're going to see that there's some changes in the world around us. So the general, Liu Qingyan, is right next to us. He's actually praying at that little altar he had there. Now we can chat with him even more. This is all unique dialogue that is all new as of patch 1.5. So he pretty much says, look, I can't stop you, but just know that you will not be accepted in this area here. Everybody will attack you. And he's not lying. He's certainly not lying. So let's take a look. What else could we do? The longsword just worked wonders, did it not? Alright, so when we go to teleport, we're going to see, if we look at important locations, we have some buddies that want to talk with us. We can go to Shu Sanctum if we like, to go ahead and speak with Tao Ching. Tao Ching is going to expand his inventory even further and allow us to kind of peruse his wares. And now that we have the wooden strip from the general, let's go ahead and chat with him really quickly. And then we'll do some fashion souls. We'll go ahead and get out of this outfit. It's no longer necessary, so we can hand over the 7 treasure rosary from Ai Ning Chi and the wooden strip from the Ming general.
The beads, unfortunately,
Alright. So essentially we get the boss armor for both of those individuals. And we're able to obtain both this here, the Ming General's set, and I want to say the North General's set as well. So there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and purchase this for some fashion souls. Remember that you do want to purchase the pendants because they are tied to achievements and trophies. So weapon, if you're doing any kind of magic damage type stuff, it's great to have. Go ahead and get you one of those bad boys. And then now we can go ahead and return to the shrine. We're going to go back to the Ming General kind of boss arena and press forward. It's called Snow Peak Pass. So from here we'll go ahead and change out our outfit ever so slightly. I do really favor the helmet that Lu Hongliu had. It's kind of like her beak and a really long braid, so it looks pretty nice. I like to use that in combination with other items there. It's just nice to look at. Okay, so as we approach, it's up to you. You can use whatever weapon you prefer, whatever you're more comfortable with. We're just going to go with the axe for now. I'm just having fun with it, so I really enjoy it. Keep in mind that you do see cannons up ahead, so don't just rush blindly. Prepare to dodge. When we see the cannon fire, dodge. You can sprint and hopefully dodge any more cannon fire and then make a sharp left. I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out now. Alright, and there's nothing over here. You can collect some of the cannonballs if you ran out or whatever, but there's nothing even in these jars, so just don't be too worried about missing out on anything. There's an enemy patrolling that can see you from afar, so you can take him out, and then there's nothing else on this side either. I just want to show you just corpses here, so nothing to worry about. So watch for the big attack here. 1, 2. Watch for a backstab there. And now we can go for the backstab ourselves. He does like to do a 180 to kind of sweep, but our backstabs are going to just melt him, so he's absolutely dead and dealt with. Now there's a rifleman up there. We're going to actually go and beeline to him in just a moment, but first we're going to make a left. Watch him as he takes aim. It's kind of our time to dodge. Be careful here. He'll lose aggro if you're back in this corner, so we can take this guy out. And we're going to grab these items. Of course, he didn't lose aggro for some reason. He remembered me. He made a fool of me. So now we have to take him out, right? So now what we're going to do is rush this way. We're going to take this ladder here. And don't mind that crazy torch guy. They do usually aggro everybody around, but they're not the best at doing that. There might be some dogs that they piss off, but that's about it. So go ahead and take him out. And then we're going to rush down here. If we can, we'll take out the torch guy. We'll sprint and take him out really quickly because the dog's already on us. Okay. Now we'll take him out because he made a big mockery of things. He made a big mess of things. Now we can come over here, and there'll be some items we're going to be grabbing. So right in this pot here, there's going to be this. We do have that guy. He's just going to circle all the way around. We have this guy tucked in the corner. Took tons of damage there. I didn't get that stagger effect that I was looking for, but that's okay. And then from here, if you want to, you can actually lock on to this guy, and if you absolutely want to, it's pretty fun, and it works 9 times out of 10. You can grab you a fire pot, throw it from here before they aggro, and accidentally drink your mana base, and that takes out those 2 enemies like nothing. So you don't have to worry about them anymore. An excellent way to take them out, because they'll both aggro at the same time. So you have a Ming enemy and then one of these guys here, so it's just better to take them out quietly. As he's walking around and he's not paying attention, we can go ahead and attack him from behind. Don't get too far ahead of yourself because we do need to clear out this little section, which is right here. And there's an enemy that's sleeping. We can rush behind him, dash, and then do a backstab. For whatever reason, he didn't want to aggro, but the one that was on the other side that almost killed us, he was a little more feisty. So I guess they're just in weird moods today. They know I'm recording for 100% guide, so as per usual, they're gonna deviate from their normal behavior. But yeah, that's it for this particular area. But we're now gonna go inside here, and this is just another cannon area. Nothing to worry about in terms of ambushes. So what we are gonna do though is move forward. Nothing in here. Nothing tucked in this corner either. But there's gonna be an enemy that comes out from here. We can take him out really easily. He's shielded, but honestly not a threat at all, especially with the axe in hand. And then we're going to come this way towards the ledge. And no, there's not any sniper, no ambush or anything like that. You can simply cross over safely without any concern. And that's precisely what we're going to do. So we now get the burning ignition, which is really nice if you're using the Flamebringer weapon. One thing that I didn't mention that we picked up is we picked up the Flamebringer longsword. And although it does have some amazing synergy with the Fire Temperance, it does not do nearly enough damage against the Ming General, and so you would actually have maybe 3 backstabs or so before you can get him down to phase 2, whereas we had him down 50% health with the Lashing Whip. So the Lashing Whip is by far one of the best longswords in the game, and it's just an incredible weapon to have. So I strongly suggest using that as your primary. And then maybe something else that you just prefer to have for fun. Like I love using the axe or the spear. The spear has a little bit of a more difficulty though, I would say. Like a learning cap, I would say. But yeah, so another thing we can do is if we're clearing out enemies, in areas, lifesteal pendant's probably the best thing to have. So anytime you're just clearing out areas, you can simply go through and have your lifesteal pendant. So every time you defeat an enemy, you get your health right back. Like so. Be very careful when you're rushing through here because there's a pressure plate that's of course a booby trap, so all these holes in the ceiling here will fire, so you will get destroyed. So just completely avoid that. And then eventually we have 2 sleeping gentlemen here that we're gonna kill. Sweet dreams. Can take them out before they aggro. I strongly suggest going for that one first and then the one closest, because if you take this one out first, that guy aggroes, and if you're not strong enough, you'll be facing 2 enemies at once. So we're going to grab the items that they were kind of, I would say, guarding, for lack of a better term. And then we have a cuckoo up here. So we're going to take out this cuckoo from afar. Use our flying dagger, that's our cuckoo killing machine there. We have little pinwheels here. That means Hey Jose is nearby, so we're going to chat with him really quickly. Go ahead and tell about the Imperial Guard's whereabouts. And he's just really chatty today, so we're going to go through all this dialogue, get the Cornucopia Elixir, and press forward. So that's exhausting his dialogue there. There's going to be a tough enemy in here. Honestly, I don't like these enemies. It's the same enemies that we fought over in Tong Palace. Let's go ahead and temper your weapon. I'm a big fan of that. Go in here and get a charged R2. Completely ignore the weaker enemy. Go for the kill with this guy. And then you can easily take out the other one. But if you don't get that backstab, you're in for a fight. He's pretty feisty, so. Fortunately, there are no explosive barrels in here, and that's why I strongly suggest tempering your weapon. You're going to get up on a save point before long, so don't worry about it. This individual is not hostile. But this is Li Wansan. Li Wansan is the individual we're referring to when we talked about the questline and how we could or could not fail it. Keep in mind that this individual will be hostile if you light the 3 beacons and skip Ai Ning Chi. He will become a hostile enemy that you will fight at the Cloudspire Palace. And when you fight him, you'll get his garb, which is pretty lame, honestly. It's just a ring and like that cloak he has, so it's pretty ugly. But it is something that us completionists will get on the New Game Plus run, I'm sure, right? Whenever we go for all the alternate outcomes. I've clearly instructed you on what the alternate outcomes are and how to get them for everybody we've met so far. So what we're going to be doing is on the second playthrough, you now know how to go through and get the alternate outcome for each of the NPCs. So in this particular run, we're doing the most favorable outcomes with the best NPCs, the most, I'd say, allies, or the NPCs that are on our side anyways. And Li Wansan is not really a nice guy, but he's not going to be hostile in this particular playthrough. So let's go ahead and chat with him. And we're going to hand over the Zhenwu Tome, the tome that we received from Huangjian Yi in the Cloudspire outskirts area, next to the Snowy Passage Shrine in the previous episode. So now we can go ahead and exhaust the rest of his dialogue, and we get the Red Mercury Crystal. This is another quest item that's going to help us progress the quest line even further. So let's go ahead and grab this, which is really easy to miss. And we're going to make our way up here. We have a spear and shield enemy here. Just wait for that initial strike, and we're going to try and go for the backstab. There you go. We'll go for the backstab. We didn't get any Skyborn Might, so that's unfortunate. Couldn't even get the backstab because it's on the elevated set of steps here, so that's okay. But again, the axe doesn't really care. The axe does not care. So there's an enemy up there, but before we rush that enemy, we're going to kill this cuckoo. And then we're going to temper our weapon in just a moment. We got to grab this item first. We have a big back over there that's harassing a very important character for us. So we need to go ahead and take care of her. So let's go ahead and take out this big back first. Get the backstab. Go for the obliteration. He's now on fire, and then we just finish him off with a handful of R1 strikes. So the individual inside or behind this door is named Fang Yao. And Fang Yao is important because without her you cannot obtain the true ending, and even the alternate ending that some people would consider the good ending. So there's the Dream's Sweet Deceit ending, which is considered, in my opinion, to be a semi-good ending. But the true ending is bound by Fate's thread, and you need her for both of those endings. So in either case, we do need to go ahead and progress her questline. We're going to knock on the door here, and we're going to hand her a very special item we obtained from Hill's Watch, which was the Shu Silk Scarf. So she's going to give us some lotus seeds, and she's pretty much going to be crying the rest of the entire playthrough. So it happens, okay? This is a Soulslike. Nobody's happy. Right around the corner of this, we can go ahead and grab this item here, the Fire Lotus Seed. We're getting all kinds of seeds here. Pretty much start a garden. And then we have lore saying, hey, pretty much anybody that is of age can has been chosen. They're trying to find a bride for the madam's son. So there's going to be a lot of lore about that. Crazy things going on right now. Lots of, I'd say, experimentations. We got mad doctors. We've got Chimera, we've got all kinds of creatures coming up in the next episode. So here we have a kind of a teaser where we have the cuckoos, items, and a plethora of enemies just waiting for us to defeat them. And we have some NPCs in there. We've got all kinds of things. But first and foremost, we do need to activate the shrine. This is going to be the Cloudspire proper shrine. We're finally in Cloudspire City. And here we have tons of NPCs that we're going to be interacting with. Quest lines we're going to be completing and activating and pushing forward. So it's really exciting stuff. As I said before, just take a look at what you want to level and just go from there. We're going to go ahead and enter the dream. And before we go to the next episode, I do want to make sure that we close out the quest line and progress it further for our good friend Huang Jianyi. So we're going to teleport. And we're going to go to Snowy Passage. Snowy Passage is where Wukong is kind of just taking a, he's taking a little camping there. He's just having a good time. Set up his little merchandise. We're his only customer, but still, I'm sure he's doing fine. So there he is. And we're going to come up this way. Huang Jianyi is still in the home. It's directly to the left of this giant gate here. So we're going to come this way. Come up this pathway, make a sharp left. And Huang Jianyi is here. Remember that Li Wansan gave us an item. And we're going to give her this red mercury so she can have it herself. So hand over the red mercury crystal. And now she gives us a brilliant red feather and a fixed origin pill. Really solid items. So now she says, I must now return to Zhenwu Temple. We won't see her again until then. So just so that you know, remember I told you on Hill's Watch, let's kill this guy just for fun. At Hill's Watch, I told you that there was a set of boxes and crates that you could break through, and if you went through that cave, that you would completely bypass Chapter 2. Well, Cloudspire and all of this stuff right here is Chapter 2, so you'd be failing every single one of the quest lines that we've activated so far and pressed forward and progressed. You would be skipping out on all that. So a lot of people don't understand the way the chapters work, but essentially important locations is kind of your hubs. This right here is Chapter 1, and all of these sub-areas of Chapter 1. Cloudspire is Chapter 2, and these are all the sub-areas of Chapter 2. We've now made it to Cloudspire City, so once we now get to the next area, we'll see like Zhenwu Temple, and then we'll see some other areas I don't want to spoil for you guys so you can see how the story progresses. But this is Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and everything below that will be Chapter 3, and then 4, and go on, so on and so on, right? So let's go to the Cloudspire City. We're going to make sure we have everything we need for this particular area, and then we're going to end this episode. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for picking this guide out. I've had an absolute blast playing this game. I'm doing everything I can to kind of give it the exposure I think it needs. I think it's a fantastic game, and with you guys here, I think we're going to be able to see all and everything the game has to offer. So all the secrets, all the good things. So really excited about showcasing the rest of the game for you guys. I want to say thank you so much for being the best part of the channel. If you did enjoy anything or learn anything, find out anything new, please be sure to like it. It helps out a ton. As a full-time content creator, your love and support goes a long way. So I want to thank you all so much again. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Be sure to click on the videos on screen. When you guys arrive, I'll be there to guide you. So until next time, it's Inhuman signing out.